Hey everybody, this is Michael Ensel with Advertising Report Card. Wanted to jump in and discuss a very hot topic, Gravity Forms versus Contact Form 7. What's the best form plugin to use on WordPress? Should you use themes that have forms? There's a lot of questions that come with forms. We're going to dive directly into Gravity Forms versus Contact Form 7. If you have questions about other forms, feel free to leave a comment or ask. I want to keep these videos quick and to the point. So the main difference between Contact Form 7 and Gravity Form 7 out of the gate to most people looking at the array of forms is that Contact Form 7 has a free version, Gravity Forms does not. So what is the big difference? Well, the main thing with Contact Form 7, as you might be able to see just by looking at the two different sites and going through and seeing what there is Contact Form 7 was a very early plugin that was built for WordPress. It has been through many versions and it's stayed very much free. It's widely used because it's free. It's one of the best free plugins. I will definitely say that, and it's very much developer oriented. The problem with that is that it's not very friendly to use. Using it for multiple ways isn't very easy. Having a web designer is pretty essential to making Contact Form 7 work, and if you have one, even then, just getting little things done, like if you wanted to add a field or manipulate your forms or build forms, it's just really not easy to do in general, just the way that the whole layout and build up is. They do have documentations on how to do things, but again, as someone who is developer friendly and can go in and code, as you can see here, since it's free, we have ads on the site. But the main thing is it's just not super easy to use. I don't always recommend it unless you have to use a free plugin. That's the only reason why I use Contact Form 7. But there's another thing that you should be aware of. Contact Form 7 has been compromised multiple times. Reason being is that it's free. A lot of the developer code is public. There's not much to the security layer of it. How you actually have the security on your website is going to depict if that form is going to help you with security at all. There are CAPTCHAs, there are ways to increase security on the form itself, but it's not exactly easy to implement. It's not something that's super native. So again, pros, it's free to get started, but cons, it's not easy to set up. It's not easy to figure out if someone submits a form where to send that email to. All these features are things that you really have to figure out. It's not easy. The next thing I wanted to jump about was Gravity Forms. Reason being is I've used Formidable Forms. I've used Ninja Contact Forms. I've used a bunch of different types of forms in general. And the main one I keep coming back to, even as the price has increased, is Gravity Forms. And when I say price has increased, basically just hop in and take a look. $60 for the year. So when I say price has increased, what I mean is that it didn't used to have a steep price at all for the different versions, but as it has become more advanced and added more features, there are more expensive versions, which again, depending on what you're trying to do, are still extremely affordable. Main thing is that it's easy to build these forms. Anybody without any code experience can build these forms. The documentation and instruction on how to implement Gravity Forms is the easiest I've ever dealt with. And when you're working with a web designer that has something that's easy to do, they can spend more time on polishing how things look. So that's a major thing as well, is that Gravity Forms has a lot of just intrinsic value in the fact that it's easier to use, and forms are so important that it gives you the ability to go in and build more forms faster and also try different things that are really not good to do on Contact Form 7, again, because of the issues listed before, including things like file uploads, multi-page forms, conditional logic, the types of things where if you would want to gather somebody's basic info, then send them to the next page to get more info instead of having 20 questions on your home page's contact form, breaking things up, having different types of things happen. Like let's say this person selected these items on the form versus these items on the form. Send that email to these different people. Those types of things are standard in the basic package of Gravity Forms. And it's really important too to consider that there's a lot of different things that come with the ease of the form, and security definitely is one of them. It has a lot of interesting ways to make things secure. It has like a honeypot invisible fields you can put out there, and then it also can have different types of things that like mandate if an email is a real email or a phone number is actually written correct or not. So that's really important. The main other two things, I'm not going to dive in again, try to keep the video short, are that they have the Pro and Elite add-ons, and what those contain are things that, depending on what kind of user you are, could be very beneficial. But I did want to add one thing to this. If you don't want to pay these prices for each individual tool, and you don't want to deal with things like Contact Form 7 that are free, what I highly recommend for anybody looking to put a form on WordPress is to step into the future and start using real form builders that are meant to work inside funnels. And I'm not talking about ClickFunnels. This is not about ClickFunnels. This is about the future of automation, really, when it comes to funneling leads down a path as far as trying to get to a sale. Because when you get a lead, what is the benefit of getting a lead through a form if you're not closing the deal? And the point about capturing leads in this system is not just to notify your team and then try to engage the lead. It is actively engaging the lead with an entire onboarding process the moment they reach out to your company. And after that, your team is also getting informed on things, what to do. Tasks are being created, notes are being created for every single lead within that opportunity. So all of that is already automatic. And the best thing about it is a lead can actually get all the way through the automation to booking in the calendar. So there is actually no need to have all the steps that most people who are doing web design or most people who are planning a website think about. Because what's the point of having a form? You're going to have to reach out to that person and then see if they're available and then schedule a call or an appointment. Why not just have the whole thing done for you? It's not as complicated as you think. You can get a trial offer to look at it. It's extremely simple. And the main thing that I wanted to highlight here is that the features, the tools, it's really honestly a breakdown of this. It's a CRM with forms, surveys, call tracking, with landing page builder on a completely different section that's included. With you can upload funnels. There's all different types of things you can look at. The SMS component is my favorite. I use this for all communication instead of having to hop back and forth off my phone. I just hop in onto my computer and text back all the people I'm working with. Email marketing, of course, MailChimp's extremely expensive now, so just completely getting rid of that and having that. And then reputation management. Honestly, the amount of things that come with this service are all things that need to be implemented for a business over the span of a 1 to 3 year schedule, absolutely, for them to be successful, but are also things that all cost differently. And with all these combined, it's around $1,400 a month in software, which, you know, if you're trying to sell your company, no VC's looking for that. If you're trying to grow it, if you're trying to build it, you don't want to have such overhead, especially as you add on team. So having the system, it's only $300 a month. There's discounts as well. There's different types of programs. But if this is something you're interested in, I have a link to it in the description of this video, as well as the Gravity forms and the Contact Form 7. Take a look, see what you guys think. If you have any questions about the forms, I've used them all extensively across a lot of websites. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and I'll respond as soon as possible. If you need any immediate help, of course, you can reach me at advertisingreportcard.com. Hope you all found this video useful. Have a good one.